नाराय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम्।
The next sloka, Krishna starts, Yat sankhye prapyate snanam tatyogairavigamyate egam sankhyan cha yogam cha yappashyati sapashyati. Yat sankhye prapyate sthanam tatyogairavigamyate egam sankhyan cha yogam cha pashyati sapashyati. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tatyogairavigamyate egam sankhyan cha yogam cha yappashyati sapashyati. One who knows that the position reached by the means of Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga both are one and the same. The position reached by Sankhya Yoga can also achieved by Karma Yoga. He sees both of them in the same level and he sees things as they are. Beautiful sloka. Beautiful sloka. Whether you are a karma yogi or sannyasi, whether you are a karmi or sannyasi, and one more important thing, all of you are not always karmis, all of you are not always sannyasis. No sannyasi is 24-hour sannyasi. When he surrenders himself to the greed, he is karmi. No karmi is 24-hour karmi. When he surrenders to fear, he is sannyasi. So be very clear, whenever you take a optimistic decision, you are karmi. Whenever you take a pessimistic decision, you are sannyasi. It is you who play both the roles. Who is optimist and who is pessimist? Optimist is a man who created airplane. Pessimist is a man who created seat belt. In life, you play both the roles. Optimist is a man who created airplane. Pessimist is a man who created seat belt. You always play both the roles. In life, sometimes you are optimist and sometimes you are pessimist. Here, both can lead to the same goal if the attitude is pure, if the attitude is perfect. One important thing we need to understand, anything created out of greed will create more greed. Anything created out of fear will create more fear. That's all. Please be very clear. Whenever you move your body, whenever your body is moved by a particular emotion, that emotion gets settled inside your system. That will become part of your system, and that emotion will be created again and again in your system. Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti says beautifully, one of the great enlightened masters, one of the great enlightened master who is not recognized by India. Vivekananda says beautifully, enlightened masters and enlightenment is the greatest gift given to the planet Earth by India. But the problem is we have given it as a gift, we have not used it. We have given it away as a gift. We forgot how to use it. From Vivekananda, it started. All the masters are given away to the world. Indians have forgot to use. Jai Krishnamurti says beautifully, if you can remain centered, silent, without moving your body, when a particular emotion rises in you, without cooperating it, within 11 time, or I can say within 11 emotional upsets, you will be liberated from that emotion. Understand, it's an important thing. If you are caught by anger, if you are caught in lust, if you are caught in fear, just 11 times, whenever that emotion raises, whenever that emotion comes up in your being, don't allow your body to cooperate, don't allow your body to flow with that emotion. Don't allow your body to move with that emotion. Within 11 times, I assure you will be liberated from that emotion. You may think, what is this one? It's just 11 times. So easy. It is easy. All great things are easy. Only we complicate it. We complicate it. We don't believe if something is easy. Small story. One guy goes to the doctor and asks, doctor, how much you will charge to pull this tooth out? Doctor says, $90. This guy asks, $90 just for a few minutes job? Doctor says, I can do it slowly also if you like. I can do it slowly also if you like. We don't like simple things. We wanted to complicate things. Actually, 11 times is too much. I think with all that factor of safety idea is saying 11 times. You might have given this discourse here. You must have been afraid of the lawsuits. So, that is why he gives with the factor of safety 11 times. If somebody practices for 11 times and if they don't get the result, they may sue. So that is why he says 11 times. But I tell you honestly, 11 times is too much. 11 times is not necessary. When the emotion rises in you, don't cooperate. Let your body not go behind that emotion. Let you not be taken away by that emotion, whether it is anger or irritation or depression or lust or fear, anything. Just decide, I am not going to be taken away by this emotion. 11 times is too much. I tell you, within 3-4 times, you will be liberated from that emotion. Because you will learn the technique, you will have the key now in your hand. How not to be taken away by the emotion. How to be centered, rooted in yourself, in your being. Whether it is anger or fear or greed. It gets more and more power and strength if your body is also cooperating with it. With whatever emotion your body moves, that emotion gets recorded inside your system. Please be very clear. And that emotion will happen to you again and again, many more times, much more intensely. Many more times, much more intensely. Beautiful movie. Any of you have seen that movie? That What the Bleep Do We Know? If you find time, you should see that movie. I am not promoting. I don't have any contract with them. Don't think I have some contract. I really enjoyed that movie. Of course, I don't have that much of patience to sit in front of movie and all. Some of our devotees invited me to come for a show in America, in New York. There's a show, that Indian show is going on, the Bombay Dreams. They invited me. I said, 15 minutes I can sit. More than that, if you can finish the show in 15 minutes, I'll come. They said, before 3 hours, we can't finish any show, Swami. Then I said, it is not for me. 15 minutes is the maximum time I can watch any show. More than that, sometimes I'm surprised how these people sit in front of the TV hours together. Couch potatoes. Hours together, how they sit. And I'm just surprised. Just go on, something is showing there, and they are sitting and watching. And they don't even keep quiet. Continuously something. And that whole table will be full before the program starts. And the program is over, the table also will be over. And this will be full. And it's dangerous, you don't know what you are eating. That's another one problem. An important thing we should know, Ramanuja says beautifully, Agara Sutti, when it comes to Agara Sutti, the purity of food, he says, when you eat something, you digest not only the food which you eat, you digest the thoughts which you think at the time of eating. So please be very clear, your eating should be done like a puja. The problem is now the puja is also corrupted. So eating should be done with a deep sincerity. Never eat watching television or reading newspaper. That will make you more dull. When I say more dull, understand, already we have enough of tamas. Already we have enough of tamasic energy. Tamas energy will be added more. The dullness will be added more. Never eat with the negative thoughts. At the time of eating, you should never be supplied negative thoughts. And women also, please be very clear, when you cook or when you serve, don't make complaints. Of course, here no problem. In India, only at the time of serving they will start. This is not there, that is not there in the house, you are not giving monthly salary properly, this has not come to the house properly, that is not here. They will start the whole Purana. Never start the house Purana when you serve or when you cook, because those thoughts also will enter into the mind. Thoughts also will be digested. Understand, your emotions, it goes and settles inside your system. I can never watch anything more than 15 minutes. Some of this one movie, I sat throughout and watched. Really I enjoyed. I wanted to explain a concept from that movie. And it is Satya. It is not only just presented by them, it's a truth from Vedanta. But they visually explained. Nice thing. Let me make a small diagram and tell you. They say, whenever some emotions happen to your system, like a rain, the emotion is poured, like a rain it happens inside your system, inside your being. There are particular cells which catches those emotions. For example, if you think it is anger, there are particular cells, just they catch that anger, emotion. Not only they just catch and stay, they will start reproducing. This one will start at least some 4 or 5. He will convert 4 or 5 persons, 4 or 5 cells. One thing, important thing you should know, the basic quality of life is reproduction and expansion. Basic quality of life, reproduction and expansion. This is a survival instinct. That is why the reproduction organ and the survival organ, the survival instinct is Swadhisthana. Reproduction is Mooladhara. Both are closely associated. The fear is Swadhisthana and the reproduction is Mooladhara. Both the organs are both the chakras are very near. Both the centers are very near. This starts reproducing, some 5, 6. And here also it starts reproducing. Next time, when the anger shower happens, the anger rain happens, all these guys also catch the same emotion. They become this original size. They come to the same original size. Now these guys also start reproducing. Now these guys start reproducing. And third time, the shower happens. All these guys catch the emotion and start storing. That is why every time when you are showered with the same emotion, it becomes more and more strong. You are addicted to that emotion. You will not be able to control that emotion. First time, if the anger is showered on you, if you are affected for 10 minutes, next time it will be surely become 20 minutes. Third time it will become naturally half an hour. That is why the emotion becomes more and more strong. In your being, again and again, when you cooperate for these negative emotions, you create same type of mood, same type of that lifestyle in you. One more thing, not only this emotion gets recorded into you, the big problem is you will express the same thing on others. What you have only you will vomit on others. If you are working to strengthen your greed, out of your greed, you will be caught by the emotion greed and you will radiate that emotion greed, you will vomit that emotion greed on others. You will torture others also with that same emotion. Next, if you are working out of fear, again you will be caught by that emotion fear and you will express that emotion fear and you will torture others with the same emotion fear. Be very clear, the warriors are caught in fear. That is why they torture others, they give fear to others. Warriors are the most coward people. A real warrior is a man who has conquered his being. One is being. Only he can be the real warrior. If you are out of fear, if you are doing anything, you will reproduce the same fear in others. You will create the same fear in others. Now, take few minutes, sit and analyze. Throughout my life, all these years, I was driven by greed and fear. What I have achieved? What have I got? Where am I standing? What is really happening? consciously think, consciously allow this idea to work on you. Decide, from today, I will not do anything out of greed or out of fear. Immediately the fear will rise in you. What will happen to my bills? Who will pay? What will happen to my house? Who will pay the mortgage? What will happen to my car? Who will maintain? What will happen to my kids? Who will feed them? What will happen to my social prestige and name and fame? Who will maintain it? Please be very clear. You have enough energy, you have enough strength to maintain yourself without fear and greed. The important thing you need to trust is you don't need energy from fear or greed to run your life. That's the first thing we need to understand. You have enough potential energy to live your life and to achieve what you want. Mahavira, one more great enlightened master who is not used by India. He says, when you come down to this planet Earth, when you take the body, you bring enough of energy to live all your desires or to achieve whatever you want to achieve. You already brought enough fuel. You don't need fuel from fear or greed. You always think, if I stop fueling myself from fear or greed, I may stop working. No, there is reserve in all your vehicles. Enough fuel is available. But psychologists can never believe the unmotivated action is possible, because they have never seen a Buddha. Again and again, these people who are working on the field of psychology, they come to a conclusion, only with motivation man can work. I tell you, no. No. What motivation birds have got to sing? But these Freudians are so perverted. Even for that they have started giving meaning. They say that the bird is calling for the spouse. Even the birds singing, they have started interpreting. The most perverted fellows. They can't see anything as it is. That is why here Krishna says, Ya pashyati sa pashyati. The man who is out of fear and greed only can see things as it is. If you are caught in fear or greed, you will see the things only as you want, never as it is. For example, if there is a beautiful tall building, man who is caught in the greed, the moment he sees, he will have one thought, if I have like this one building, how nice it will be. The man who is caught in the fear, he will think, I should not think of all these things, otherwise I will be stressed, I should escape from all these places, I should go and stay in forest. The man who is caught in the fear, he thinks in one way. The man who is caught in the greed, he thinks in the other way. But only a man who is liberated from these two emotions will see it as it is. Yap pashyati, sap pashyati. What is, he will see that. Now, decide strongly. Throughout my life, I lived either pushed by fear or pulled by greed. Mahavir says beautifully, you don't need energy from greed or fear. And I tell you, for a person who is trained by the society, who is conditioned by society, for the person it will be very difficult to believe this truth, that you don't need energy from fear or greed to live. I know you are all sitting here out of politeness. He is speaking, let us listen what can be done. Just because you are sitting, it is not that you are able to believe it or you are able to trust my words. I know thousands of questions arising in your mind, but I tell you, your whole past, maybe 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, what is your age? That many years. You lived only fueled by fear and greed. Just give next 10 days for Mahavira. Decide, next 10 days I'll trust the words of Mahavira. Mahavir says, you don't need fuel from fear or greed because you have brought enough energy. When divine sends you, when you take birth, God sends you with whatever you need. In India, the daughter is given, when the daughter is given the marriage, they will send the whole set from broomstick to everything will be sent. From card, bureau, everything will be sent with the daughter. And dowry also, that nonsense. I don't know when India will understand and come out of that word dowry, come out of that idea dowry. If any of you have taken dowry and if you really want the spiritual life, first thing tomorrow itself give it back. Go back to the house, collect all the things, whatever you have taken from your in-laws' house, give it back. If your in-laws are not alive, give it to your wife and tell her do what you want. Don't keep, that is the, I think, curse given to you. I tell you honestly, if you keep dowry in your house, Lakshmi will never stay in your house. The house in which dowry is kept, Lakshmi will not stay. Because it is cursed money. It is not the Sri with a blessing. It's a Sri with curse. Never keep dowry money in your house. If you really want Lakshmi in your life, see two things. Lakshmi has got two use in your life. One is just outer comfort. Another one is inner bliss. Lakshmi has two meaning in your life. One is outer comfort, another one is inner bliss. The man in whose house the dowry is kept, I can assure he will never have the inner Lakshmi. He will never have the inner Lakshmi. He may think he is having the outer Lakshmi. He may think, what is the difference between poor man and the rich man? Poor man sits on the ground and worries, the rich man sits in the sofa and worries, that's all. Nothing else. The size of the sofa is little big. Nothing else. How a daughter is sent with everything to the in-laws' house, same way, divine sends you with everything. That is what we call in Vedanta Prarabdha Karma. When you come down, you bring enough of energy for your senses and body to run and acquire whatever it wants, enjoy whatever it wants, and live the life blissfully. You brought everything. Only problem is, you don't trust you have brought everything. You don't trust you have brought everything. And one more thing, after coming down, you accumulate more and more desires from others. If you have come down with 10 desires, you have brought enough energy to fulfill the 10. But after coming down here, you collect some more desires from your parents, brothers, sister, and then you try to work out all those desires. Please be very clear, work out only your desires. Let you not waste your life working out others' desires. You are wasting your life. If you start working out others' desires. When we go to the chapter about desires, we'll go deeply into the desires, how it is created and how we are running behind it. Now this much of understanding is enough. Decide clearly. Let me not be fueled by fear or greed. And I tell you, just give 10 days for this one idea. Decide, next 10 days I'll work only out of my joy and bliss. I'll do everything out of my pleasant mood, out of my joy. I can assure. Anyhow, of course, I'm going to be here even after 10 days. If it does not work out, come and catch me. It will transform your life. This single idea can liberate you straight away from all bondages. You have enough energy. You have brought enough of Shakti with you. You have enough of Kriya Shakti with you, which can run your life without being fueled by fear or greed. One more thing. First few days you will feel little unsettled. When you work, when you say, whenever any desire comes up, you say no. Whenever any fear comes up, when you say no. First few days you will feel little unsettled because a new inner space is created. You will feel little empty, vacuum. Don't bother. In few days you will beautifully settle with that emptiness. You will settle with that empty space. That emptiness only Buddha calls Sunya or Nirvana. Working from Sunya consciousness, working from bliss consciousness, not being driven, pulled or pushed by fear or greed. Just 10 days decide, I will work only out of joy. I will not let fear or greed come inside my mind. Of course, in 10 days, you may fail few times. Don't worry about it. Starting is much better than fear of failure. See, when you have the fear of failure, you will never start. Start, even if you fail, it is okay. You will know the trick of the trade. At least you know the technique, where you are failure. And if you don't start at all, you will not even know where you are failure. Start, I tell you, honestly, it will transform your whole life. It will give you such a new strength, tremendous courage. Immediately you will be liberated. First few days, you may feel a little unsettled. What am I doing? I am feeling some emptiness inside because continuously you are tortured. When your mother-in-law dies, you will feel for a few days. Or the people with whom you are living, for a few days you will always feel that you are missing something. If you don't have anybody to nag you, you will feel that you are missing something. This desire and fear continuously nags you. For next 10 days you may feel little that you are missing somebody who was continuously nagging you. Don't worry. You will settle into the consciousness. Your whole being will become new. Will be a new personality. This is an important thing. Two things. Trust you have enough energy to run without fear and greed. Only small kids need candy. Kids will work only when you show the candy. They will keep quiet if you threaten them that I will beat you. Of course, in this country nothing can be done. They will say 911. Nothing can be done. Only with kids, when you are a small child, you need fear or greed to make you work. Now you are grown up man. Still, why do you need fear or greed? Still, if you need fear or greed, you are mentally retarded. Please be very clear. We have grown physically but not mentally. First few days you will feel little unsettled. One more thing, in 10 days you will not lose your wealth. Is there anybody? 10 days if I practice these ideas, I may lose all my wealth, Swamiji. Then the wealth is not worth having, let you lose it. If it will last in 10 days, you think it is worth having? It's not worth having. If it can be lost so easily, then it is not worth having. The earlier it is lost, better for your being. Let you remove the tremendous stress and load from your inner space. Decide for 10 days, I'll do all my action out of deep bliss, out of settled mood. And I tell you an important thing which continuously exists in you, that constant irritation will disappear. Knowingly and unknowingly, you carry the constant irritation in you. That is why all of us are just waiting to burst, explode. Any small thing, you just shout, vomit. You are waiting for reasons to shout. Any small thing, you are irritated. You shout, don't you know? Don't you have sense? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Constantly we carry that irritation mood in us. From morning till night, constantly, even for a small thing, we always shout, explode. Look into yourself. How many of you can honestly understand and agree that you carry the constant irritation in you? Raise your hand. Others are not honest, be very clear. Don't think you are not carrying. Constantly we are carrying that irritation. The irritation is being carried in your inner space constantly. It is because of fear and greed. Let you be liberated from today from that irritation which you are carrying constantly. Something or other, some reason or other you need to explode, that's all. You are waiting to jump on others because you are not settled within yourself. There is uneasiness between you and your being. That uneasiness always expresses continuously on others. That uneasiness, what I call dis-ease. That dis-easeness between you and your being is what I call disease. You carry that constant uneasiness, constant irritation because you are putting wrong fuel in your engine. If the wrong fuel is added into your engine, you know the sound, what type of sound you will have and what type of smoke you will have. If the fuel is not pure, the engine will create a different kind of sound. Small story. Husband and wife both were driving car. They stopped at a signal. Suddenly next to them they saw a Benz car standing. Husband said, yesterday night in dream I was driving like this beautiful Benz car. Wife said, yes, I heard the engine sound. Sound sleep. Sleep for them and sound for others. Be very clear. If the fuel is not pure, you will have different sound and different smoke. If you are carrying the constant irritation in you, the fuel is not pure. You are not working out of your consciousness. You are not working out of your bliss. Just 10 days, decide. Don't put the fuel of fear and greed in your vehicle. You will see suddenly the new energy coming up from your being. The enthusiasm, costless auspicious energy. The costless auspicious energy is what we call Shiva. Shiva means in Sanskrit costless auspiciousness, reasonless energy. If you live with that reasonless energy, means unmotivated energy, and I tell you, you can do that. First thing, trusting you have that energy. Next thing, start living it. Only these two things you needed to reach the divine consciousness. When you start working with that costless, auspicious energy, you become Shiva. Otherwise, you are Shava. Here, Krishna gives a beautiful technique to reach that ultimate Shiva consciousness, to reach the beautiful space of bliss. Saknodi haivayavasodum praksarira vimokshanat kama krododbhavam vegam sayuktas sasughinaraha. Saknodi haivayasodum praksarira vimokshanat kama krododbhavam vegam sayuktas sasughinaraha. Before giving this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. Exactly what I said he is repeating. If you can at least once settle inside, if you at least once settle inside your being, when you are attacked by this emotion of desire and anger, without moving your body, without cooperating, without taken away by that emotion, you are well situated, means you achieved what has to be achieved. You are blissful in this world. People ask me again and again, Swamiji, what is the purpose of body and mind? The purpose of body and mind is only one thing: to achieve, to learn how to experience joy without body and mind. If you can learn that one thing of having happiness, bliss without body and mind, you achieved the use of body and mind. Over. After that, you can throw away the body and mind. You can live without body and mind. Man who is able to live without body and mind is Jivan Mukta. Even if the body and mind is there with him, he will not be touched by it. He has no use for it. If you don't have any use, any need, will you go to LA? No. Unless you have some reason, you will not go there. Same day, unless you have some reason, you will not assume this body. If you started, if you had a single glimpse of bliss without this body and mind, which is beyond this body and mind, you will never be disturbed by this body and mind. Even if it is there, it will be following you, you will not be following it. As on now, you are not driving the car because you don't know when to stop, how to stop. For example, if you don't know how to put brake and you are driving the car, it means you are not driving the car. Car is driving you. Without reading the manual, owner's manual, if you sit in the car, you will do that mistake only. Without reading the owner's manual, you will straight away enter into the car and start driving. You will do this type of mistakes. Only when you know how to stop, when you want to stop, you are driving the car. Otherwise, car is driving you. Please be clear. Read the owner's manual before you get into the vehicle. Gita is the owner's manual for your body and mind. Read the owner's manual before you get into the body and mind. The force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. He knows where he is. He knows his place. If you don't know your place, it is very difficult. In this world, many of us don't know our place. That is why we feel we are uprooted. We don't feel we belong to this life. We don't feel we are at home. Because you don't know your place. Small story. In a dark theatre, interval time, one guy went out, came back with popcorn and Coca-Cola. He came near a woman and asked, "Did I hit you or did I step on your foot few minutes ago?" She said, "Yes, as a matter of fact, you did." Then he says, "Thank you, then this is my seat." Then this is my seat. You don't know your seat. You don't know your place. You have to identify your place only through these sources. You ask her, "Did I step on your foot? Did I hit you?" She says, "Yes, as a matter of fact, you did." Then he says, "Thank you. Then this is my chair. This is my seat." You don't know where you are situated. Only a person who has gone beyond greed and fear can relax into his being, will know what is his place on this planet Earth. If you don't fuel your being with fear and greed, suddenly you will see a new clarity. You will start working out of intelligence. You will start working out of divine consciousness. You will start working out of eternal bliss. Just decide, whatever I do out of greed, it only adds more and more greed. I am running. Enough. Same way, if you are escaping from something out of fear, all right, how much I can escape? How long I can run? This fear will come and attack me in some other form. If I am afraid of this and run, I will be afraid of something else. Something else will come. It is just the fear, not the object about which you are afraid. The object is not going to chase you, but the fear will chase you. You may go away somewhere, but you are carrying the tent, the canopy of fear and greed with you. Wherever you go and do the picnic, you open your own small tent. Same way, wherever you go, you carry your own small tent of fear and greed. You may escape anywhere, but when you go and sit there, you will open up your canopy, your fear and greed. There are so many great escapes, especially in this country. Wow. How many places? World's most happiest place, they claim, the Disney World. Actually, I went all over, the Disney World and the zoo, all possible places. Wherever, whatever places are popular, they took me there. After seeing, I really felt sad inside me. These people need so much of entertainment, means how much of depression they are carrying inside. So much of entertainment is necessary means how much of depression they are carrying inside. If you need so much of entertainment, please be very clear, something seriously wrong with your system. Something is seriously wrong in the whole system. Man doesn't need, by his nature, he doesn't need so much of entertainment. If he needs so many things to make him happy, there is something seriously wrong in the whole system. We need to look into the system and repair it. Again and again, Krishna declares, let you work out of joy. And I tell you, if you work out of bliss, you will create bliss for yourself, and you will create bliss for others, and you will never know what is tiredness. You will never even know the word tiredness. I tell you honestly, still I can't understand the word tiredness. How can you have tiredness? Tiredness is nothing but the inner contradiction between your Ichcha Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Between your will and your action. There is an inner contradiction. Inside there is some deep problem. You have a problem between your anger and fear. You have a problem between your greed and fear. Your greed and fear is attacking each other and you are tired, that's all. If you are feeling tired, please be very clear. Inside you, a big war is going on. The Mahabharata Yuddha is going on. Inside you, the war between the fear and greed is happening. Man whose consciousness is clear can never experience tiredness. The very idea of tiredness is totally wrong. How can there be tiredness? Just what you want, you do, that's all. In my young age, when I was in the college, I used to sit and meditate. Morning I'll sit for 4 hours and evening I'll sit for 4 hours. I'll just casually sit and meditate. The roommates, they will ask me, how are you able to sit for so many hours? And I used to tell them, what is there? Your body, your mind. If you want, can't you sit? If you can't even sit with your body and mind, what are you going to achieve? Honestly, I am not even able to understand how a man cannot sit with himself. Your body, your mind, that's all. My body is my mind. Just sit, over. Why? Why we are not able to sit? Because continuously we have poured wrong fuel. Wrong fuel. That is why you are not able to sit with yourself. It's after all your body, your mind. Bring it completely under your control. If you can't bring this under your control, never ever expect you can bring anything under your control. Continuously, we are behind power. We want to control that, control this, control that, control this. The power hunger is so much in us. We are running behind always something to get the control over that. Understand, first let you bring your body and mind under your control. Let that be controlled by you. Then automatically you can bring anything under your control. If this is not under your control, whatever is under your control will not be under your control. So please be very clear. First thing which we need to do is bring your body and mind under your control. As of now, it is under the control of fear or greed. One thought from greed is enough. Your body just runs. One thought from fear is enough. Your body just runs. Let it not happen. Let it be completely under you. Let it be completely under your consciousness. Let you fill your body and mind. Let your eternal bliss, eternal consciousness fill your body and mind. Here, beautiful sutra, beautiful technique from Krishna to enter into that consciousness. Labande Brahma Nirvanam Rushayakshina Kalmasha Chinnat Vaidayatmana Sarvabhuta Hiterada. Those holy men whose sins have been destroyed, who are working for the welfare of other beings, means working out of bliss. Only when you work out of bliss, you will do good things for others. If you are working out of fear or anger, fear or greed, even if you do good things, it will end up only in trouble. It will not end up in as a service. Those who are self-restrained and have cleared all their doubts and dualities attains the eternal happiness of God, Nitya Ananda of divine. Here, let us enter into the technique. First time, Krishna gives a beautiful technique to move your energy from fear and greed to divine consciousness, eternal consciousness. Your fear is rooted in Swadhisthana chakra, means the chakra which is situated just below the navel, 2 inches below the navel. Your greed is rooted in the Muladhara chakra, the chakra which is in the root of your spine, which is at the root of your spinal cord. Here Krishna gives you the technique how to elevate yourself from the 2 chakras to the eternal consciousness, the chakra of Anya, where the eternal consciousness resides, where your very being resides. Sparshan kritva bhagirbhamyam chakshus chaivandare bhruvo pranavano samo kritva nasapyandaracharino yadendriyamano buddhir munir mokshaparayanaha vigadescha vayakrodo yassada muktayeva sa. Sparshan kritva bhagirbhahyam sachakshus chaivan dare bhruvo pranavano samo kritva nasapyandaracharino yadendriya mano buddhir munir mokshaparayanaha vigadescha vayakroda yassada muktayeva sa. Krishna gives a technique. You are all caught in the Muladhara and Swadhisthana, fear and greed. That is why continuously you can watch. You will have a sort of a tensed feeling. You will be continuously holding your Muladhara and Swadhisthana. Even now, just look into your being. Look, see, relax. You can feel near the Muladhara area, you will be tightly holding yourself. You always hold yourself. You are always in tension, tensed in Muladhara and Swadhisthana. Krishna explains how to relax that area, how to stop the fuel coming from greed and fear and get the fuel, get the Amrita Tara from eternal consciousness. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the 2 eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear. Desire and fear, the byproduct of desire and fear, anger, all 3. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. Sada mukta eva sa. First he gives the technique to enter into that state. Then he says, if you can stay in the same state, you are liberated. Now, at least let us try to have the glimpse of this state which Krishna explains, which Krishna speaks in this sloka. I will try to guide you step by step through this meditation. Please try to enter into that state. It may take next 10 minutes. Please sit straight and close your eyes. Let your head, neck and backbone be in a straight line. Intensely pray to the ultimate energy to give the experience of this meditation to us. First thing, visualize all your senses are completely shut. Visualize your eyes are completely closed. Your eyes are shut. Don't allow any visualization to happen inside your being. Not only closing the eyelids, very slowly. You can open your eyes. Let you start staying in the same mood at least for next 10 days. Understand, don't concentrate by force, but the pleasant awareness. When you keep that pleasant awareness around the Ajna Chakra, your whole energy will be directed towards the eternal consciousness. You will receive energy from eternal consciousness, from immortality, amritatva. You will not be driven by fear or greed from below. You will be driven from eternal consciousness from above. From below, if you are driven, you are man. From how to connect yourself with the divine energy, how to be driven by the divine consciousness. Let you function through the eternal consciousness. Let you be in and one, become with and radiate eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Gamsachanuramardanam Devagi Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.